Kyle Larson had one of the wildest days you'll see in racing. Wrecked out of a cup race in the afternoon, and by that night he was standing in victory lane at Knoxville. Here's how it all went down. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation news is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with how Kyle Larson's Sunday actually began. And it wasn't pretty. Larson was racing in the Iowa Corn 350, the second NASCAR Cup Series race held at Iowa Speedway. He started second behind Ryan Blaney. Things were going all right early. Larson ended the opening stage in third place, but on lap 149, John Hunter Nemechek's car stalled on track, and that set off a chain reaction. Larson's Chevy got forced down into a 4-wide situation. In the middle of that, his teammate Alex Bowman's car was hit by Keselowski, and that contact ended up knocking Larson out of the race entirely. Larson finished the Iowa Corn 350 in 33rd place. Frustrating way to end a Cup Sunday. But here's the thing, his day wasn't over, not even close. Just hours later, and about 30 miles down the road, Larson climbed into a 410 sprint car at Knoxville Raceway for the Capitani Classic, and this time, things went a whole lot better. Larson held off Rico Abreu to win the $13,000 Avanti Windows and Doors Capitani Classic presented by Great Southern Bank. This was the 14th edition of the race, and it marked the second time Larson has won it. It wasn't a small field either. There is a record 87 cars entered into Sunday night's feature. Now, this capped off a full weekend of racing for Larson. The night before, on Saturday, he finished 4th in the 360 Knoxville Nationals. Larson talked about just how good it felt to be back in a 410 after that. Here's what he said. Was happy to get back behind the wheel of a 410 sprint car. I wasn't planning on running this, but after running 360 Nationals, I was just very grumpy just because those cars suck. They're so slow, so I needed to feel some horsepower. It had a big smile on my face. Now let's get into how the race actually played out. David Gravel started on the pole after winning the $2,500 K-Chest-to-1 race gear pole shuffle, and he led early in the 25-lap main event. Behind him was Brent Marks, Austin McCarl, Larson, and Abreu. On lap 10, Aaron Reitzel moved past Abreu and into the top 5. A lap later, Larson got around McCarl to take over third. By lap 14, the leaders caught lap traffic, and that's when things really picked up. Larson made a move high in turn 2 to take second from Marks on lap 15. Around the same time, Abreu got back around Reitzel into the top 5. Larson kept closing in on Gravel, and on lap 19, he went in high in turn 1, came down off turn 2 underneath the leader, and took the point. Meanwhile, Abreu was making his own charge. On lap 18, he got by McCarl for 4th, then a lap later passed Marks for 3rd. On lap 21, Reitzel and McCarl got by Marks for 4th and 5th. There was a lot happening in traffic all at once. Abreu then got by Gravel for 2nd, and in the middle of all that racing, Buddy Kofoid and Tyler Courtney got together, with Kofoid flipping upside down. Larson led the final 3 laps to lock up the win. Abreu crossed 2nd, followed by Gravel, Reitzel, and McCarl. Rounding out the top 10 were James McFadden, Marks, Giovanni Celsi, Parker Price Miller, and Donnie Schatz, who earned the $1,000 Avanti Windows and Doors Hard Charger Award. Larson also opened up about how tricky it was once he actually got out front. He said, "When I got to the lead, it was very difficult to run the bottom. When I hit it right, it was really good, but I struggled. Once I got to the lead, I was a little too timid and getting tight on entry. I was just making a lot of mistakes." He also talked about that late restart with Abreu closing in. "When Abreu was close before the red, he pulled up close and I knew he had a run. It had me confused about how high to go on the restart. I saw the crumbs, and with clean air, I thought I'd have enough in the middle. It was good enough to get the job done for that 3-lap shootout. I feel like no matter how much rain they get here, they always seem to find a way to get it racy." Now, David Gravel had plenty to say too after coming up just short. He said, "I felt really good early running the bottom well. I kinda got a little stale there, and laps traffic definitely woed me up. I didn't feel right there, and Kyle got me. I moved to the top and felt like I was gaining on him. I thought I rolled a really good corner, and here comes Rico sliding by me. Rico's car really came on late in that green flag run. If we didn't have a caution, Rico may have won that race." He added, It was a real strong night. Real happy with our piece. I feel like we can get better in the later part of that race. Kyle Larson and Rico Abreu are some of the best drivers in the world. It's nothing to hang our heads about, and hopefully it's us three on Saturday night duking it out. A few other notes from the night. Gravel and Brady Bacon set quick time in their respective groups. The heat races were won by Chase Dietz, Corey Day, Courtney, Justin Peck, Abreu, and McFadden. Steven Snyder Jr. and Brock Zerfos won the 2C mains, while Kofoid and Chris Windham took the B mains. There were a couple of scary moments too. Anthony McCree and Bacon were involved in a crash during their heat race, but both walked away. Austin Gossel and Riley Goodnow also flipped during the night and were uninjured. Looking ahead, qualifying for the 410 Knoxville Nationals begins Wednesday night with hot laps starting at 6:45 p.m. So here's my question for you. Gravel said it himself. If there hadn't been a caution, Rico Abreu might have won that race. Do you think Abreu gets by Larson if the race stays green to the end? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure you like this video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News. We'll see you in the next one.